Hi friends, this is Sri Ramulu. Now, yeah, so TTWRDC, Nagar Karnool, so Sri Ramulu, guest studio in physics. Today's topic is atomic spectra and models. Atomic spectra. Spectra means where we can see the different colors or different wavelengths, that is called spectra. And if the spectra is observed with the help of an atom or because of atom, then that spectra is called atomic spectra, and there are the certain models are there to explain the atomic spectra. So see what are those model. Let me explain it. And before knowing the models or before entering this lesson, what now I am going to explain the few things about this physics. All right. In the 19th century, it was clear to the scientists that chemical elements consist of atoms. Right. So in the 19th century only, it is clear to the scientists the atoms are the object or a material is formed because of atom only, and electron is the one of the fundamental constituent particle, right? Inside the atom there are the certain particles present. So those particles, one of them is electron, and the remaining are many particles are there, but fundamental particles are protons and neutrons. Next, it was means electron was invented by the J.J. Thomson. All right, friends. So electron, generally electron is invented by electron was invented by the whom by the J.J. Thomson. And next, electrons are negatively charged particles. Okay, so electrons are negatively charged particle, but atom as a whole is electrically neutral. So that means what? Electron is a negative, but atom is always neutral. Neutral means neither negative nor positive, but inside it electron is negative. It means opposite to it something will present. To balance the negative things, something opposite has to present. So negative, for negative opposite is positive, so positive particles must present inside it, right? So those are positive particles generally we call nucleus. Why? Because nucleus not only contains a proton and also neutron. And see here, hence it become clear that the atom must also contain positively charged material to balance negative charge of the electron. So to balance the negative charge of the electron, what has to present? Positive things has to present. But see, generally the shape of the atom is spherical in nature, right? So spherical shaped one. So atom, let it is the atom, and it consists of inside what? Inside it at the center what? Something mass will present. That mass is what? This is we call nucleus. At the center of the atom which is present, that is called the nucleus. Around the nucleus, what happens? Lighter particles, they always revolve. Lighter particles. Those lighter particles are called electrons. Electrons only revolve around the nucleus. Okay. But just now here, electrons are negatively charged particles. Yes, electrons are negatively charged particles. So they have the negative nature. And but if you observe the atom, whole is electrically neutral. See here, everybody is saying the hence it, but uh, as atom as a whole is electrically neutral. Electrically neutral means neither positive nor negative. It cannot show the positive, cannot show the negative. That means, but it is negative. That means to balance this negative one, so positive also present inside it. So that positive one is called nucleus. Nucleus has charge. Nucleus has positive charge. So this positive charge balanced by the negative one. So like this idea is then this atom cannot show the positive one and a negative one. So it is become neutral. How many positives present? Same number of negatives present, right? And next, to explain about atomic structure, several theories have been proposed. So in the century, 19th century, to explain the completely about the atom, several theories has been proposed. So among them, the few theories are there. So one of them is the first one is the Thomson plum pudding model. Thomson plum pudding model. Rutherford's nuclear model. Bohr's model. Sommerfield's relativistic model. Vector model. And a wave mechanical model or quantum mechanical model. So like this, these are the few theories which explain about the atom. Now, let's go to the physics. Inadequacy of classical physics. Inadequacy means what? Inadequacy means general inadequacy is also called as limitations, drawbacks, right? So it's drawbacks or what it couldn't explain. So those are the inadequacy. What classical mechanics couldn't explain the most of the physics laws. So that is why what it couldn't explain. So those things I'm going to explain. Now see, first one is the classical concept cannot be applied to atomic phenomena. Example, atomic phenomena means example for what? Motion of electron in an atom. So atomic physics couldn't explain the motion of an atom. Why? Because atom is a very small particle. It is a minute particle. It is a minute object, minute material. So, but classical physics can generally it can explain the heavier objects such as so for example, suppose if it is a stone or it is throwing in this direction. So it is traveling with a certain velocity. First, these materials only classical physics can explain successfully its behavior, its nature, its properties. But classical physics cannot be applied to the electrons, right? Electrons, protons, and neutrons. For these things, it cannot be applied. Okay. Next one is what? Classical mechanics fail to explain the stability of an atom. Atom is always stable, right? So why it is stable? So it couldn't explain by the classical physics. Stable means it neither react, it cannot participate in any action. So that is a stability. It's highly stable. When it's stable, when the number of protons are equal to a number of electrons, then atom is always what? It is stable, right? So when the deficiency in electron or excess in electron, then only it is ready to participate in any action. So then it cannot be stable, right? And next, classical mechanics fail to explain the spectrum of hydrogen atom. So already we know that we think you might have been observed or noticed, or you might have been seen, or you might have been listened in the lower classes. Those are the Lyman series, Warmer series, Passenbach series, such series. So these series couldn't explain by the classical mechanics. So classical mechanics failed, or classical physics failed to explain the spectrum of hydrogen atom. It couldn't explain observed spectrum of black body. So in the lower classes, in second year, in second year also there are the there is a one black body. When the radiations are allowed on the black body, it starts absorbing and it forms a spectrum. So that spectrum, why it is forming, why it is releasing, why the spectrums are forming, that couldn't explain by the classical physics. So classical physics is failed. But there is what in a degree second year, its name is that is successfully explained by the quantum mechanics. Okay, and now it could not it could not explain the observed variation of specific heat of metals and gases. Observed variation of specific, it means that certain changes are occurring in the metals, specific heat of the metals or gases. So when the temperature changes, specific heat is also changing. So that means specific heat is dependent on temperature. It depends on temperature. Why it is depending? When the temperature is rising, what is happening at a bit? When the temperature is very much high, then it reaches to the maximum value. Specific heat reaches to the maximum value, and when the temperature slowly, gradually decreasing, then a specific heat is also slowly decreases. So that means that there is a variation in it. So that variation couldn't explain by the classical physics. So classical physics failed to explain the specific heat of metals and as well as gases. So already specific heat is already it is over in the previous semester, right? And next one is what? Next, classical mechanics failed to explain photoelectric effect and Compton effect. So classical mechanics have failed to explain the photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect means what? Photoelectric effect means, suppose if we take a metal and if we expose it to the sun rays, when it is exposed to the sun rays, then what happens? These light falls on the surface of the metals, then certain electrons are coming outside. How? When so light coming from the sun or light coming from the sources, that light contains a photon, right? So these photons are utilized by the electron when it present inside the atom, then it come outside, and coming out when it came outside, then it starts moving in random direction. So that is electron ejected. So a material which produce electron when the light falls on them, such materials are called photomaterials or photometals. So photometals, only photometals can give the current, right? So like this, so but why it is happening? Why the electrons are coming when the light is falling? That couldn't explain by the classical physics. So classical physics also here failed to explain photoelectric effect and as well as Compton effect. Already these two effects are explained. Okay. And next, next Bohr's atomic model. So what is the Bohr's atomic model? So it is a general one. It is a general theory. So this theory we can apply to the hydrogen or helium or whatever it is. So it is in general. So what happens for the atom? So that is explained by the Bohr in Bohr atomic model. What he explained, let me explain. Bohr developed his theory of atomic structure by retaining the two essential features of Rutherford's planetary model. So that means the only two theories, two essential features has been taken from the Rutherford planetary model. So what is the meaning of Rutherford planetary model? Rutherford, he compared the atom with the solar system. I'll see here. Let in generally the sun present at the one place, and around the sun what happens? Many there are certain objects or planets that starts revolving in elliptical arc, right? So at any one of the foci, what present? Sun present. So at this foci, what? Sun present. And here at planets, they revolve in this manner. So how the planets are revolving around the sun in the same manner inside the atom. Inside the atom, nucleus is compared with the sun. Electrons are compared with the planets. Electrons are compared with the planets. Okay. How the planets are revolving around the nucleus, around the sun in the same manner. In the same manner, electrons also revolve around the nucleus. That is a planetary model of Rutherford. It is the meaning of this is the reason why it is called planetary model. And next, Now see the first essential feature. The atom consists of central positive charged hard core called nucleus, right? So atom, let it is an atom. Inside the atom, what present at the center? Certain mass present. So this mass is named as nucleus. This mass is named as nucleus, and the element are particles which present at inside the nucleus. Those particles are called nucleons, not nucleus. Nucleons. They are called nucleons. Okay. So nucleons, what are the nucleons? Proton one is nucleon and neutron is nucleon. So proton is a positively charged nucleon and a neutron is a neutral nucleon. So like this, two nucleons present inside the nucleus, proton and as well as a neutron. And proton is positive one, neutron is a neutral one, means neither positive nor negative. That means it is zero. Okay, like this. And the next electron revolving around the nucleus in circular orbits, the outward centrifugal force is balanced by the net electrostatic force of attraction. See? So when the electron revolve around the nucleus, suppose it is a nucleus. Around the nucleus, what happens? Electron they start moving in this manner, like this, the circular orbit or elliptical orbit. According to Bohr's model, the orbit is circular. According to Sommerfeld, orbit is elliptical orbit, right? So in circular orbit, electrons revolves in this manner. Okay, the electron revolving around the nucleus in circular orbit. When it revolves, then what happens? Not only it revolves around the nucleus, it also spin. Spin means it rotates itself. Okay, but by rotating, it starts moving around the. It revolves around the nucleus in this manner. So when it is moving and when it is circulating or when it is rotating, then it creates one more force, that is what? Centrifugal force, right? Centrifugal force, a force which acts away from the center, that is called centrifugal force. Okay, and next one more force. This force is balanced by the one attraction force. What is that attraction force? Why it is attraction force? Generally a force which acts towards the center, that is a centripetal force. Centripetal force. Okay, centrifugal force means a force which acts away from the center. A force which acts towards the center is centripetal, like this. And here the centripetal force, in the place of centripetal force, which force can act here? The force electrostatic attraction force will act. Why it is electrostatic attraction? Because at the center what present? Nucleus present. And a nucleus charge is positive one. And around the nucleus, what is revolving? Electron is revolving. Electron charge is negative. So this negative and positive, they start attracting. And this attraction balanced by this repulsion. How much it is attracting the same manner, the same force, same magnitude of force can repulse or it acts away from the center. Okay. So the force in between the two charges is electrostatic force. And a force which acts away from the center, that is a centrifugal force. Like this centrifugal force balanced by the electrostatic attraction, then only electron starts continuously revolving in the same path. It repeats its path continuously. Okay, so that is next. Third point is Bohr assumed that how an electron in the field of a nucleus is not capable of moving along each of the paths that were possible on basis of classical theory, but electron can move along the path of discrete set of allowed paths. That is what, see here, it is a nucleus. Okay, around the nucleus many paths present. Path means that is orbit we call. But electrons cannot move in all orbits, only in selected orbits, only in selected orbits only. Those generally selected are in particular orbits, and those particular orbits are called discrete orbits. So in the discrete orbit only electron revolves. Okay, so but classical physics it couldn't explain, and but according to quantum physics, so that is allowed electrons moves in the discrete set of allowed paths only. Only these orbits are possible for which orbital angular momentum of electron is equal to the integral multiple of h by 2 pi. So, in what path the electron moves, so that can be explained by this formula. Okay, suppose there are the electrons, then we can say easily in what path they can move by using this formula. And sometimes the people can write m v r is also as n h cut also n h cut. H cut meaning is what? H cut, or you can read it as either H cut or H cross also. But what is formula of H cross or H cut? H cut is what? It is replaced with the H by 2 pi. In the place of H by 2 pi, it is written as shortcut is H cross. Okay. So that means we can write here also MV here also as MVR and H cross like this. Okay, somewhere you may find that like this also. So that is why don't get confusions. So H cross means H by 2 pi. Okay, and the next fourth point. No energy is radiated by the electron as long as it remains in the definite or stationary orbit. Definite or stationary orbit. Thus, permitted orbits are non-radiation path of electrons. So, in which path electrons are revolving, those path in those path, electron cannot radiate energy. Suppose let it is a nucleus and electrons are revolving in this path. So while it is revolving, it cannot radiate, means it cannot use, it cannot lose the energy. That is the meaning of radiation. Okay. So and here see these radiations are uh, these paths. In this path only electron can move without radiating energy. If the electron radiates energy, then what happens? If the electron radiates energy, then what happens? So suppose it is a nucleus and the electron is revolving in this path. When it radiates the energy, then what happens? Its path continuously changes like this, in this manner. So while it is energy radiating, it's a continuously form is this type of path, and finally it collapses with the nucleus. When electron collapses with the nucleus, then what happens? Then atom cannot exist. When atom cannot exist, then there is no material. When there is no material, there is no universe. But atom is existing. Atom is existing means what? Energy is not radiating. When electron is revolving, energy is not radiating. Those orbits or paths are called stationary orbits. So that is the meaning of stationary. Stationary means constant. They cannot radiate any energy. So that is 30. Okay. And the next fifth point, it is the last one. The radiation of energy takes place only when electron jumps from one permitted orbit of higher energy to another permitted orbit of lower energy. The difference of energies radiated and must be equal to quantum of here equal to must be quantum of energy s nu means equal to h nu. That is the meaning of this. Okay, so its meaning is what? See here. For example, it is a nucleus, and this is a first orbit, allowed orbit. It is a discrete orbit, means in which orbit electrons moves. Next, it is a second orbit, and let's its energy. It is very nearer to the nucleus, so that is why its energy is let E1, and its energy is higher energy. As when we move away from the nucleus, energy of the orbit gradually increases. That is the meaning. Okay. So when electron, suppose here one electron is there, it is continuously revolving in space. suppose when it jumps from this energy level to this energy level in this path, in this orbit, then what happens? Then energy is radiated, energy is emitted. So that means energy emission or radiation takes place when electron jumps from higher level to lower level. So that is the meaning of this. So how much this energy? That energy is equal to h nu. So that is easy. And how much it is, how can we get? That is by differentiating higher energy level minus lower energy. So how much that energy means? When you subtract the energy of this orbit to this orbit, then how much energy will be available? That much of energy only can only come outside from the atom. Okay. So like this much of energy will radiate. So it is h nu. Why it is h nu? Nu is there, frequency is there. That means energy, emitted energy, it is in the form of wave only. So that is why I have shown like this. Okay. So this is the friend. These are the Bohr's main features. All right. And next, see the Bohr's here. It is generalized. Now Bohr's theory is applied to the hydrogen atom. Okay. So if we apply the hydrogen atom, then what happens? How can we apply the and what we can get? See here, Bohr's theory of hydrogen atom. Bohr's theory of hydrogen atom is based on the following assumptions. What we assumed in the previous one. Okay, so like this, here these two forces are balanced. Why? Because these forces, this force moves in this direction, it acts in this direction, it acts towards the center. So these two forces balance, then only this electron like moves in this manner. Okay, so that is why friends, this force you must, this formula you must remember. And the next, this see just now I explained you, angular momentum is always equal to integral multiple of h cut. H cut or nh by 2 pi, integral multiple of nh by 2 pi. The electron moving in a such allowed orbit does not radiate electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic radiation. Thus, total energy of the electron revolving in any one of the so many stationary orbit remains constant. So when the electron revolving in the circular path, then it cannot give any energy. It cannot allow. It cannot emit the energy. So energy is always constant of this orbit. So such orbits are called stationary orbits, right? So these orbits are stationary orbits. So their energy is always constant. And next, electromagnetic electromagnetic radiations are emitted if an electron jumps from stationary orbit of energy E2 to stationary orbits of energy, lower energy E1. So then frequencies emitted, the radiation is related by the equation. So just know what I explained you. When suppose, for example, there are yes, friends. So this is equal. It is this one just now we explained, and here also it is a lower energy level. Suppose it is a nucleus. It is a lower energy level. It is a higher energy level. When electron jumps from here to here, then energy is related. Emitted that energy is what h nu, and this energy is always equal to difference of these two levels. Okay, so that is this one. And next, calculating the radius of Bohr's orbit. Okay, so Bohr's orbit radius. See how can we? What is the radius of a Bohr orbit? For example, it is a nucleus. It is a nucleus, and it is a one allowed orbit, one allowed circular orbit. The distance from center of nucleus to this path is called radius. It is denoted by. So this R we have to calculate. So for this is theory. Only these orbits are possible for which. So what things I have taken, what he proposed, what Bohr's proposed. From his proposal only, I have taken one formula, that is MVR is equals to NH by 2 pi. So in the previous slides, you may find this one. See here, I will show you again that one. See, MVR is equals to NH by 2 pi. This formula I am taking. Okay. And next from this, keep V here only, M and R, bring them that side. So then what happened? M and R goes in the denominator. So like this, then velocity is equals to NH by NH by 2 pi M R. So it is related is equation 1. And the next is second next. This is C. It is one of the proposal of Bohr, and it is the next proposal. C. It is what proposal? So this proposal, first proposal have been taken. So what is that? E square by 4 pi epsilon naught into R square is equals to mv square by R. Okay. And so in this formula, where is the V square is there? There, just to substitute this V formula. So you completely substitute in the place of V square, then it becomes whole square. See, E square by 4 pi epsilon naught as it is. Next, M V square by R, actually in the place of V, what we have substituted? This one we have substituted. Okay, now what? do it, square it, and then what thing gets cancelled, check it. M here one m is there, here m square is there, so one m gets cancelled, one m remains here. Next, 4 both fours gets cancelled. Pi here, but pi square, so one pi will be there. Okay. Next, r square, both r square gets cancelled. But there is no e square upside, so only e square present here. And upside is what? H square didn't cancelled, and epsilon naught. So these two things present. So finally, r value is n square h square by epsilon naught by n square h square epsilon naught by pi m e square. So if you substitute the values of these n, if you say in the, if you place a n is equals to 1 and h is a Planck constant, everybody know that is next epsilon naught value everybody know, pi value, and m is the mass of the electron, e is the charge of the electron. If you substitute all these values in the in this equation, then what you get? First orbit radius make it. That is how much? 0.529 in 10 from -9 -10 meters, and it is written in the angstrom is 0.2529 angstrom. So it is a generalized formula, right? It is a general formula. We call it is a general formula. Why? Because here n is there, and if you write here n for different values of n, you may get different r values. So that is why it is rn is there. And the next, velocity. Okay, velocity of revolving electron. So it is see, this is the second one, second assumptions or second proposals of the four. That is what mvr is equals to ns pi 2 pi. Substituting equation, substituting this is the equation. Substituting equation 3. Equation 3 is what? R value substitute here. Just now in the previous class, what we calculated? We calculated radius. Substitute that radius in the place of R. In the place of R. Then see, it is a R value substituted here, and then simplify it. MV. So whatever things present, keep here only V, and the remaining term total bring that side. That is simplification. Okay, and same thing is done. Pi no square, no whole square, just simply it is a bracket multiplication, and then whatever things present upside goes in downside, and a denominator values in numerator. Okay, and here see when it is n, no, it is n square, one n remains here. It h square, h whereas remains here. Epsilon not as it is. M gets cancelled. Pi gets cancelled, but 2 is remains, and e square is also remains. Okay. And we can write it is a Vn also. Why? Because n value V is also depends upon the n value. As the n value increases, V is decreases. That means for a longer radius, longer orbits, orbit is present very long away from very long from the nucleus. In those orbit, velocity of the electron is slow. That is the meaning of this. Okay. This expression shows that velocity of electron is proportional. Which proportion? Inversely proportional. It is inversely proportional. Inversely proportional to n. As the n value increases, V value decreases. So velocity of electron is very much high. In which orbit, you know, the first orbit its velocity very much high. Okay, and the remaining orbits velocity is different. And next one, orbital frequency and a time period. Orbital frequency of electron. Generally, frequency can be defined as the reciprocal of time period. Reciprocal of time period is also called as frequency, or number of vibrations per second per unit time is called frequency. So in terms of formula, it is nu is equals to 1 by time period. Okay, but see here, frequency, it is time period. In general, velocity formula is what? See, it is a time period means nothing but a time. So in general, velocity is equals to distance by time. Bring this t this side and v this side. T is equals to distance by velocity. Okay. So here t is equals to time is equals to distance by velocity. Okay. And a distance is what? When the electron revolves inside the atom in circular path only. Circular path, the total distance is its circumference. Circumference is 2 pi r. 2 pi r. So here the distance is 2 pi r. Okay. 2 pi r. And it is simply velocity. See, substitute this formula here. If you substitute here, what happens? Already t is in denominator. When it is in denominator, these two terms what happens? Reverse. It in numerator, it becomes in numerator in denominator. So, if you substitute here, velocity by distance 2 pi r. Velocity by distance 2 pi r. So like this, friend. That come. Okay. And already we know the velocity formula. Just now we have calculated. And r values, you see r value and velocity value, you should not submit rn. Simply say it is as r value is this one and v value is this one. If you substitute in these two places and if you simplify, then you may get this one. Okay, so 2 pi is written here. V value is e square by 2n h epsilon naught. Okay, 1 by r term is 1 by r, but r is equal to this. 1 by r means it's a reverse. So whatever is present in denominator, it is in numerator, and numerator term is in denominator. So like this. And any cancellation terms are there, so simply cancel them. And here the C cancellation terms are 2 to the 4, no cancel. E square already e power of 4. Okay, but pi gets cancelled. This pi and this pi gets cancelled. Okay, em remains constant, so it is not cancelling here. Next, n into n square, it becomes n cube. H into h square, it becomes h cube. Epsilon naught into epsilon naught, epsilon naught square, epsilon naught square. So then it is a frequency term. So not only orbital frequency, also we have to calculate the time period. And the time period is it's a reciprocal. So it is a reverse it. So upside down. So the denominator value numerator, numerator value denominator, then you can get time period. So this is the time period of electron around the nucleus. Time period means what? Suppose it is a nucleus and electron starts revolving like this. So at the beginning, suppose electron is here. So when it is started its journey in the circular path, the time taken, how much time will take to reach its initial position. So that time is called time period of electron. So time taken by the electron to complete one revolution to reach its initial position. How much time it will take? The time is called time period. So like this, friends, we have to define the time period. And the next. Next, energy. Electron energy. The electron energy consists of two types. Energies are two types. One is kinetic energy, other one is potential energy. Kinetic energy is due to motion of electron and its value. Okay. So kinetic energy due to the motion, everybody know that is. So its formula is what? Half mv square. Where v is the velocity of electron here. Half mv square. Already we know the v value substitution. E square by 2n h epsilon naught whole square, or c square square. Okay. Next, kinetic energy, by simplifying it, we may get this one. Already e square e power 4 and m is as it is 2 already it is a 2. Okay. 2 square it is, whole square is 2 square. 2 square means 4. 4 to 8. Okay. And n square, whole square is there, n square, h square, epsilon naught. All these terms become square. Next, potential energy. Potential energy is due to the electron lies in the field of electric field of positive nucleus. So it is an attraction of the positive nucleus. So that is why that attraction. So that means the electron may have a certain potential. So it's the potential of electron is the V is equals to E by 4 pi epsilon r. At what distance it is present? At all distance. But if you have to get the potential energy, then what you have to do? Potential energy, this potential must be applied by the negative E. Then this V becomes potential energy minus E square by 4 pi epsilon naught into R is, this is what? This is the potential energy. And next E square by 4 pi epsilon naught into, and see 1 by R is there. Replace 1 by R. R value is already we know. R we have calculated at the beginning. R value, but 1 by R means it's reciprocal. So, and simplify E square, it become E power of 4. But here it should be minus. Here I have forgotten to write here minus. Why? Because here minus is there. That is that minus. Sorry, it is in denominator, coming in denominator. Right, friends. Let it is a minus. Okay, this minus we must copy always. Okay, square by it is as is, and 1 by atom is this, and E square E power of 4, E power of 4 pi, here pi square is there. Pi, okay, not pi square. Pi gets cancelled, and epsilon square, H square as T is, N square as T is. So 4 as it is, 4 N square. So this is the potential energy. Next, what you have to calculate? Energy of the electron energy. Electron energy means that is the total sum of the kinetic energy and a potential energy that gives the energy of the electron. And see the total energy of the electron is our orbit is En is equals to Ke plus Pe. Ke is this one, it is a positive one, but P is negative. Plus minus, here it is a plus, and potential energy is minus. So by simplifying these two things, then what you get? You may get. But here the difference between these two formulae, all are same, but only one thing is different. What is that? Here 4 you may get, here 8 is there. So that is the difference. You should not cancel. If you see these terms all are same, but it is minus, it is plus, you can get easily cancelled. Yes, that is wrong. Why? Because here 4, it is 8. So 1 by 8 and 1 by 4 is different. So 1 by 8 minus 1 by 4 becomes 1 by 8. What? 1 by 8 minus 1 by 4 is 1 by 8 only. 1 by 8 minus 1 by 4. If you take LCM, here see 4 minus 8 by 4 into 8. Here multiply this value here and multiply this value here. So 4 minus 8, that is 6. 4 minus, it is 8. 4 minus 8 is 4. By 4 into 8. This 4 gets cancelled. What is the remaining? See 1 by 8. So that is the reason why it is 1 by 8 is 8 has come. And the remaining are all same. So that is why no need to do it. Okay. Next, see here. From the above calculation, we observe that electron revolving in hydrogen RP has a negative potential energy by virtue of its attraction towards the nucleus and a positive kinetic energy by virtue of its motion. Potential energy, negative potential energy, and kinetic energy is positive kinetic. Why is potential energy negative? Because it is attraction only. So when the attraction means one is positive and negative, then only positive into negative becomes negative only. Positive into negative is negative. That is it. The negative sign here, the negative is again final negative sign. Negative sign indicates signifies that electron cannot escape from the atom. That is the meaning of this. And here also, if you simplify, if you want to simplify this one, here A to H value, epsilon naught value, M value, E value, M is the mass of the electron. If you substitute all these terms, then you may get one more formula. So that is I will see later. Okay. Next, frequency of emitted radiation or wave number. Okay. So frequency of emitted radiation. So it is from the last assumptions or last proposals of the home hydrogen atom of atom by the Bohr. Bohr hydrogen atom model. In the hydrogen atom model, it is the last one. It is the last formula. And from that, H is equals to difference of two energies. So it is higher energy, it is a lower energy. So see, in the place of N, it is right n1, here also n1 square. If you write here n2, en2, it will become a en, here also n2 square. So that is the reason. And I substitute those two values here, like this here and here, then you may get this one. And among them, take outside the common term. So common term only, except n value remaining, all are common. So in the it is n1 by n, it is 1 by. Here, why it is reversed? Here n2 is there, here n1 square is there. It is minus, it is minus. Here minus into minus plus. But if you take it is a plus. See, n1 square become plus, n2 is minus. So that is why it is reversed. Okay. And now as these are the terms, and now 1 by it is reversed, and h is value is, see, h is multiplying with the new, and if you bring this side, already h square is there, h into h is cube, it become h cube. Okay. And next, in the place of new, we write as like this. So what is the formula? Generally C is equals to formula nu lambda. Okay. But here nu is there. See, from this nu is equals to, bring this lambda this side, C by lambda. C by lambda. So in the place of nu, C by lambda. Okay. And C brings it this side again. So 1 by lambda. So this 1 by lambda can be written as nu bar. 1 by lambda can be written as nu bar. This nu bar is called, it is a wave number. And whatever constant terms present outside the bracket, all the terms are replaced by the single term, that is R. This R is called Rydberg constant. Its value is 10.97 10 for 6 into m power minus 1 meter inverse. Okay. So 1 by lambda nu bar R into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. Okay, friends. So this is, and the next. So ENVM, total energy, electron energy levels in hydrogen atom. So energy of energy, just now we have calculated total energy of electron as in the nth orbit. In nth orbit, En is equals to minus me power 4 by 8 epsilon naught square n square h square. So if you substitute, just what I said you, if you substitute all these values, what are those values? M value, mass of the electron is 9.11 into 10 to the minus 31, and it is the charge of the electron is 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19, but whole power 4 is there. Minus, minus, don't forget here it is minus. And next by 8 as this epsilon naught value is it is a permittivity of free space. Its value is 8.854 into 10 to the minus 12. Whole square is there, so that is the whole square. N square as it is without changing it. H value is what? H 6.625 in general. Actually here we are right 6.625. Right? So 6.625 into 10 to the minus 34 joule second, it is in general, joule second. Okay, into n square. So see, total term is given in terms of, it is its unit is given in terms of joules, but energy of electron we must measure in terms of electron volts, right? So by simplifying all these terms, we may get 21.7 10 to the minus 19, but it is in joule. If you have to convert joule into electron volt, you must divide with the 1.66 into 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19. When you divide 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19, this joule can be converted into electron. So like this electron volts, we must measure in terms of electron volts only. Here En is equals to, by simplifying this, we get minus 13.65 n square, minus 13.65 n square electron volts. The negative sign indicates that electron is bound to the nucleus by the attraction force, right? Negative indicates attraction. So to separate the electron from the nucleus, we must supply certain energy to it. How much energy? We must apply this much of energy. So, but energy of electron is different in different orbits. So that is why energy is also depending upon n value. In the first orbit, it is a minus 13.6. In the second, see, in the first orbit, minus 13.6. and second orbit. See, second orbit. See, and the first when n is equals to 1. So in the first orbit, energy is 1 minus 13.6 electron volt. In the second orbit, minus 3.4. In the third orbit, minus 1.1, and so on. As the orbits are increasing at the last orbit, that is at infinity, its energy is how much? 0. Okay. So see what is happening. Negative term is negative term is slowly decreasing. So with the negative, this term is decreasing means positivity is increasing. Okay. More negative means less number. Less negative is more. So it is a K shell energy, L shell energy of a hydrogen atom for hydrogen atom only, and M shell energy of hydrogen atom. Okay, it is an infinity cell hydrogen atom. Its energy is what? Its energy is 0 electron volts. Okay, and next last one is now we shall consider the energy level diagram. This diagram can be drawn in terms of balancing electrons orbits to the scale of their radii, but it is customary to draw. Means it is somewhat difficult to draw the horizontal lines to the energy level. Okay, so shown below. Lowest energy level corresponding to the normal exit. See here the lowest energy level. What is which is here the lowest energy level? See, a energy level which is nearer to the nucleus, that is the lowest. So that is it is a first. It is the lowest. It is generally it is a what? It is a K shell, and it is L shell, and this is M shell, and this is N shell, and so on. Its energy is how much? Minus 13.6. Minus 13.6 electron volts. Its energy is what is increased? Minus 3.4. Its energy again increased. So like this K, L, M, N. So in this manner, this is the energy level diagram of a hydrogen atom. And whose energy? This energy K shell is called ground. It is unexcited. It is a ground state, lowest energy state, lowest energy, or it is a ground state, right? Ground state. Ground state. So that is lowest state. So now it is the first excited state, second excited state, third excited state. So exciting means their energy values are different. Energy values gradually increasing. So this is a friend. This is the about the hydrogen and atomic spectra. Okay. So thank you, friends, for please subscribe it, share it, comment it. If you find anywhere mistake, so please tell me in the form of comments only. So thank you, friend. Thank you very much for showing interest towards this class.